And I want to take this opportunity to thank Corey for putting together such an awesome summit. Having such an amazing group of individuals to come together to be on the same platform. My name is Mark Hopkins, author, financial direction coach, motivational speaker, keynote speaker. The name of my book is What's Stopping You. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it Barnes & Noble as well as Walmart online. Well, let's jump right in. Let's assume that you were going on planning a vacation, and you went through all the planning stage, and you already had the money in your account. All you had to do was go ahead and pay for your vacation because you already had the money there. Also, let's assume that a business opportunity came your way because of the way you were handling your finances. You already had an investment fund that you already had in place, that you had money allocated for investments. And when that business opportunity came your way, you didn't have to borrow any money. You didn't have to worry about it. You already thought it was a good deal. So you were able to take advantage of the opportunity with no issue. Thirdly, let's assume that, you had an emergency that occurred in your life, a family emergency, emergency in your home, some type of financial emergency, and you weren't really affected by the emergency because you already had money in place. Money was already allocated for that particular issue or whatever issue occurred. You had your 6 month, 3 to 6 month emergency fund already in place. Let's say that situation. If that's how your life is, you already have everything set, then that is awesome. But let me assure you, I believe that the majority of the people is not living that life. I believe, there's probably 70 to 80% of the individuals, in America today are living paycheck to paycheck. And that is the situation that I was going through. That third situation that came on, the emergency fund, that is the thing that actually pushed me into, learning more about finances, learning to save, learning to build wealth, the emergency situation. I'll get into it in just a minute. So, if you, stick with me to the end, and what I'm speaking on is dominating your financial education, dominating your financial independence, and dominating your financial wealth. If you stick with me to the end of this, I will guarantee you that if you apply the keys that I give you, if you apply these keys, that you will find yourself with a better financial picture in your life. Your wealth will be more intact, and your financial education will be more intact as well. So stick with me and stick with me to the end. And if you apply these keys, I'm pretty sure you'll be in a better situation in your financial life. Again, I was saying the emergency is what brought me into wanting to dig more into financial security. I remember a time a few years ago I was looking to go to Minneapolis, Minnesota from Chicago to go to a convention. And I was pretty much set up to go, all the arrangements were made. And, I was just doing the last minute things, washing some clothes to get them ready. And, I went to my laundry room to start washing, and I noticed there was a mess. There was a big mess on the floor. So after, cleaning things up, I found that the problem was with my sewage pump. So I got a hold of a plumber, talked to them about it, and they gave me a quote over the phone. And the quote that they gave me was pretty much close to the amount that I had in the bank. They came out, they fixed the problem. the next day, actually Saturday. I had to miss my convention, of course. I had to miss the convention because what I had to pay was pretty much everything I had in the bank. I believe I had $50 left after I paid them to fix the issue. And I said to myself then, and how many people out there can identify with me on this? I mean, I said to myself, I am so tired. I am so tired of being in a situation where when there's, an emergency happen in my life where it pretty much takes and wipes me out of everything that I have. I'm so tired of not having enough to fix the problem. I'm so tired of just having enough to fix the problem. That's why, I came up with an acronym that I've been working on. It's called PAID. PAID. One thing before I get into that acronym, one of my mentors, he mentioned that, if you took all the money in the world and you divided the money up equally to everybody in the world, eventually that money will find its way back to the people that have the money now. When I heard that, I said, wow, that, is really far-fetched. I couldn't understand how. But then after studying and learning and dealing with finances, it came to me that the reason that money is going to go back to the people that have it now is because those people have the education. Those people have learned to deal with finances. Those people have learned to build wealth. They've learned to create positive cash flow. They've learned how to save. They've learned how to budget. See, and that's something that a lot of us haven't learned. I didn't grow up, sitting at the dinner table with my family and we're talking about finances. That's something that did not happen in my family. In the school that I was going to, we didn't learn that in the school. A lot of us, we learned, you go to work and you pay your bills, and you spend your money. That's pretty much the gist of it. And that's one thing that I learned. And one thing that, I put together this acronym, and I have a book coming out. It's called the Acronyms for Success. This acronym is actually in that book. It's one of the acronyms in the book. So I'm not going to go too deep into it now because we don't have a whole lot of time, but I'll touch on it. And when that book come out, you can actually get that book and go deeper into and get more information. But the acronym is PAID, P-A-I-D, P-A-I-D. Now the P is, there's 3 P's. There's you pay your tithes, pay yourself, pay your debt. I'm a Christian, and that first P, pay your tithes, everybody is not a Christian, so it might not apply to everybody, but it do apply to me. So I'm going to speak on it. You pay your tithes. God said, if you pay your tithes, he said, I'll open up the window of heaven and throw out blessings that you don't have room enough to receive. He said, try me. Try me. That's the only place in the Bible that he said, try me. He said, try me and see if I don't do it. See if I don't open up the heaven. That is definitely an insurance policy. That's definitely something that he is standing on. Said, try me. That second P, pay yourself. That's something we don't do. We pay our bills, we pay our mortgage, we pay our rent, we pay you pay for gas, you pay for food, you pay for pretty much everything in life, and we do not pay ourselves. I was reading the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. He talks about paying yourself first. He said, if you put 10 eggs in a basket and you take all out but one, sooner or later that basket is going to overflow. Sooner or later that basket is going to grow and overflow. And that's the same thing with your finances. If you put 10%, you put 10% in the bank for your pay, your wealth, your financial growth. Sooner or later, your money is going to overflow. It's going to overflow. So put 10%. If you don't have 10, put 5. If you don't have 5, put 1, but put something towards paying yourself. And how are we paying everybody else? Pay ourselves. Pay ourselves. You going out doing the work. You getting up every morning, going out into this, sometimes extreme weather, to work for somebody else. Pay yourself for going through that. Don't touch that money and let that money grow. That's going to be the money that's going to make you a rich person and overflow your pockets. Pay yourself. Third, pay your debts. Pay your debts. God said He wants us to be good stewards. He wants us to be good stewards. Only way to be a good steward is to show yourself trustworthy, show that you're, reliable, and, pay your debts. And again, I go even more into this in my my book that's coming out, which is the acronyms for success. All right, 2, which is A, assign your wealth. Give your wealth an assignment. Give your money an assignment. If your money don't have an assignment, you're going to lose it. If it don't have anything to do, it's going to go from you. Remember that. If it don't have anything to do, your money will go from you. Give your money an assignment. And I call it, do you respect? Respect your wealth. Respect your wealth. Do you respect your wealth? When I'm ex-Marine, they say once a Marine, always a Marine. I did some time in the Marine Corps and did some time in the Army. But there was a time I remember we were, training to fight wars, and I had my weapon. I was in a manhole, and we were going against another platoon, and I'm down in the manhole, and I see a guy from that other platoon walk by, and I took my weapon and I tried to shoot. We were shooting blanks. BFAs, blanks, and so no one would get hurt. I tried shooting and my weapon didn't fire. And he heard the click. The only thing that did was clicked. And he heard it and he looked at me and I was looking at him and he pointed his weapon and he shot and it fired. We had, again, there were BFAs, so nobody got hurt. There was a buzzer thing on each one of us. My buzzer went off. It showed that I was hit. So I had to be taken out of the training. So I went back to my tent and I was wondering, why didn't my weapon go off? Why didn't it fire? So I took it apart and I looked and I got down to, the chamber, and it turns out there was dirt in the chamber. Dirt stopped my weapon from firing. Dirt stopped my weapon from protecting me. If you don't take care of your weapon will not take care of you. I look at the same thing as finances. If you don't take care of your finances will not be able to take care of you. And if I had my finances together when that situation occurred, with my sewage pump, if I already had an emergency fund, I'd have went into the emergency fund, paid for it, got everything taken care of, and continued and went on to my convention that I was going to. But I was not taking care of my finances. So do you have your investment account? Do you have your emergency funds? 6 months to 3 months to 6 months of an emergency fund. Your vacation account. Your account where you're paying yourself first, where you're going to accumulate wealth. Do you have these accounts in place? That is where you are, taking care and respecting your wealth. Number 3, which is investments. Make smart investments. Make smart investments. We're looking at investments that's going to give you a positive inflow. Positive assets coming in, positive money coming in, a positive inflow of money that's coming in. Positive wealth. Do you have use smart? Use a smart. Make smart investments. SMART is actually an acronym. There's an acronym for SMART. Be specific. SMART. Be specific about, what you're looking to invest in. Are you looking to invest in dividends? Are you looking to, invest in real estate? Be specific of what you're looking for. Also, is it measurable? Is what you're looking for measurable? Are you looking for a certain percentage to yield, and can that company produce what you're looking for? And then also, is it achievable? Is what you're looking for achievable? Is this company, have they been able to achieve that yield, that gain that you're looking for? And is it realistic? Is it realistic? If the company's right now a high yielding savings account is only about 3 to 5%. You don't be looking for anything that's 10%. It's not realistic. And time. Time with the T. Do you know when to get in, and do you know when to get out? When you reach your gain, do you have the discipline to get out? There's two things that, two G's that will help you in the time. The two G's is gain and greed. If you're able to reach your gain and you have the discipline enough to get out, then that's good. But if you don't have the discipline, you're going into greed, and greed will take your wealth. Greed will take your wealth. So gain will bring you wealth. Greed will take your wealth. So have the discipline to know when to get in and when to get out. And D, duplicate and dominate. Duplicate and dominate your wealth. Duplicate what you're doing. Continue to make these smart investments. Continue to do the right thing. God, He wants us to duplicate. He wants us to duplicate. Just like He said in the Bible, there was a king that went on a trip, and he had three stewards there. He gave one 5, he gave one 2, and he gave one 1 talent, which is money. The one with 5, he was able to duplicate it to 10. The one with 2, he was able to duplicate it to 4. He said to both of them, "Thou good and faithful servant, you're welcome to thy rest." But the one that he gave 1 was afraid. He said, I was afraid. I know what kind of king you are. You reap in places that you don't even sow. So I was afraid to do anything with what you gave me, so I buried it. He told him, "You're wicked. You're wicked. Take from him and give it to the other one. Take from him and give it to the one who has the most." You could at least put it in the bank to where it could get interest. So God wants us to be able to duplicate and multiply. He's a multiplier. And while you're duplicating and multiplying, He wants you to dominate. Dominate. He said, have dominion over this world. So dominate your wealth. So when you're duplicating and dominating, you will definitely dominate your wealth. Again, the system: paid, P-A-I-D, pay your tithes, pay yourself, pay your debt. A, assign your wealth. I, make smart investments. And D, duplicate and dominate. Now, if you do all this and you use these keys, you will definitely have and put yourself in a greater financial position. Again, my name is Mark Hopkins. You can find my book on Amazon, What's Stopping You? Have a great day.